Christy, thank you. Well, after months of investigation, Greenville County Sheriff Will Lewis has been indicted on charges of misconduct in office and obstruction of justice.
We broke this story for you before the solicitor was even out of the courtroom with the grand jury today. Our team coverage of the indictment continues now. You see Kirsten Glavin and Brianna Smith both standing by. Brianna, when we say we broke the story, you broke it today. What's the latest now on this indictment and the investigation?
Gordon, the hearing started this morning at 9, and by 10:30 we had learned that Sheriff Will Lewis was facing 2 indictments, one for obstruction of justice and another for misconduct in office. So let's tell you exactly what that means. The indictments say that Lewis failed willfully and dishonestly to discharge his duties as sheriff, and that he attempted to impede the administration of justice. That would be the SLED investigation that went on for 7 months. Now, that state investigation did start in late August last year when former Assistant Savannah Neighbors posted a blog saying she was sexually harassed and assaulted by Lewis while working at the sheriff's office. Now, Lewis did admit to a sexual encounter on a taxpayer-funded trip to Charlotte, but we don't know if that's the basis of these charges. Solicitor Kevin Brackett says while charges have been handed down today, this investigation is just ramping up. You said that more charges could be forthcoming. Why was it important to get these indictments today and not wait until there's more charges or look further into that investigation?
Well, we wanted to move forward on the information that we did have, that we felt comfortable making charges on. The investigation itself is ongoing. There are additional interviews and matters that need to be looked into.
So Will Lewis is going to have an arraignment hearing Thursday morning at 10 o'clock here at the Greenville County Courthouse in front of a circuit court judge. That's really just a formal bond hearing where he'll then be processed for those charges and be given a bond. We're hoping to learn more about what the basis of these indictments is during that hearing. For now, we are live in Greenville County. Brianna Smith, 7 News.
Okay, let's explain that to folks, Brianna, what you're saying there, the basis of these charges, because we know all of this investigation began with allegations made by a former employee who says she was sexually assaulted by the sheriff. Is it possible that these charges today, these indictments, are not directly related to that?
There is a possibility. We have reached out to the State Bureau of Investigation in North Carolina as well as the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police. Charlotte is actually where Savannah Neighbors said the sexual assault took place. Neither of those agencies would ever confirm that they opened an investigation into a sexual assault there. So there's a possibility that the scope of this investigation is widely bigger than what started here when they first started investigating when Sheriff Lewis self-reported to SLED. I also want to note in Kevin Brackett's, the solicitor here, his release to us today, he said there's possible that there's more arrests. That could mean that there are more people in the focus of this investigation and that it's not simply on Sheriff Lewis. We just don't know yet, and it's going to be forthcoming in the coming weeks about who they decide to charge or if they decide to charge anyone else and what those charges will be.
Yeah, and Brianna, you've pointed us to Thursday, which is when now suspended Sheriff Lewis will appear in court. Is it possible he could go to jail that day after a bond hearing?
Yeah, we fully expect for him to be processed. Solicitor Brackett said that after that hearing is probably when he's going to be processed, and he would be taken to the Greenville County Law Enforcement Center, where so many of his deputies take people that are arrested on the streets every single day. He could be given a PR bond right then and there, but we expect him to still be formally processed in the system. But again, a lot of this is a mystery because it's kind of unprecedented territory. I saw in the Greenville News that the last time that a sheriff was indicted in Greenville County was 1933. So we're talking almost 100 years since a sheriff has been indicted. So a lot of this is unprecedented territory.
Yeah, and thankfully so. All right, Brianna Smith, who broke the story for us, reporting live tonight.
And keep in mind, this is all coming after a 7-month-long state law enforcement division investigation. The governor, Henry McMaster, was here in Greenville today, and he appointed the former sheriff, Johnny McBrown, to replace Will Lewis for now. Local officials are just starting to react to all of this news today. 7 News reporter Kirsten Glavin is here at 7 on Main right now with a lot more on what they're saying to her. Kirsten.
Well, Greenville County Council has been very involved in this ever since the lawsuit first came out. You may remember they voted to audit the sheriff's office back in November. And that's part of the reason why this indictment against the sheriff is not coming as a surprise to a lot of county council members today. And we spoke with Butch Curvin, county council president, who says he found out about this morning from the county administrator. His first reaction, one of sadness for the families involved. But he says after 7 months of investigation and tensions running high at the sheriff's office, he feels this is going to be a positive transition. McCurvin says he's already looking ahead and is confident in Johnny Mac Brown, who will be taking over as sheriff of Greenville County, at least for now.
The Sheriff's Department is a big organization, and it requires experienced and mature type of leadership, and that's exactly what Johnny Mac Brown is going to bring to that office.
Curvin also says that the county will not pay Lewis during his suspension.
So what about the county officials? What are they saying in terms of the real impact here, or the fears of the impact that this could make people think badly of law enforcement?
Yeah, you know, it is a concern, and they did acknowledge it, but they say that there are a lot of great hardworking men and women at the sheriff's office, and they think that is what truly counts here, and that's what people should be taking notice of.
All right, Kirsten Glavin, thank you for getting reaction tonight.